Hello. Yeah, just a quick little video that I feel like making in the moment, so if it's a bit randy with the lighting, who cares? Um, Competition. What is it? What's its central effect? Quite simply, survival of the most ruthless. Why? Well, it's pretty simple. You've got this high intensity competition amongst, let's say, four players, okay? One of them is prepared to play dirty to win when it suits them, when it makes sense. It gives them an advantage. The other three are not. Other things being equal, the guy who's prepared to play dirty, ruthlessness, wins. That's inevitable. Survival of the most ruthless is how politics works, or any competitive situation. You even see that in modern extreme sports. Well, sports themselves on the professional level have become extreme. Like if you want to be an Olympic champion doing the high jump or something like that, you have to live, eat, breathe that pursuit and do absolutely everything, ruthlessly anything you can to maximize your body to that end, or there's no way in hell you'll get any medal, let alone gold. That's the effect of competition, survival of the most ruthless or extreme. No surprises that we usually have a tyranny, not a democracy, running this world. And take a look at the tyrannies, how they work. For example, Saddam Hussein, Adolf Hitler, or Mussolini. What did they do to win? How did they become number one and so dominant? They were prepared to be ruthless. They co-opted hit squads to go around killing opposition party members and in using brutal intimidation. Because they were prepared to do that, they won. That's the great weakness in politics, is that it's a competitive sport, and therefore you will very much tend to get sociopathic, psychopathic people climb to the top because they are prepared to do whatever it takes to win, including killing people. That great vulnerability is there. And even if you've got people who aren't prepared to kill people, you've still got people almost certainly who are prepared to be seriously corrupt when it works. Because again, it's competition. If you're not prepared to be corrupt and it gives you a major advantage to be corrupt, you better be corrupt. You just give up, get out. You can't succeed. So what's our defense to that? Our defense is to build a legal system with constitutional laws, powerful constitutional laws, decentralized government, and also demand the public veto on major political decisions. Basically, build up your political architecture so that the public can function as a highly effective police force. Never, ever, ever, for example, give up or allow free speech to be compromised. Never, ever allow your government to create the legal tools to suppress speech, because then it's so game over, it's not funny. It's the most stupid thing you could do. There's that as well. And also my idea is building an app that everyone can have on their cell phone, which gives them the power to largely vote or indicate their appeal to any given bill being presented by Parliament. Basically, you need to make sure the public have got the politicians totally on their leash. The public aren't always right. Sometimes they get things wrong and they have to be educated. There's no doubt about that. But boy, having to go through that messy process of democracies learning what to do is still infinitely better than the profound latent dangers of getting psychopathic people running your country, which logically is almost otherwise inevitable due to the law of competition, survival of the most ruthless. New Zealand, one of the problems with New Zealand is they have the luxury of being politically docile. Whenever we hear about tyrants like Mussolini and Hitler, we go, yeah, but it's not going to happen here. Come on. It feels like it's just like a movie, a distant movie. it can happen here. There's no doubt about it. The problem is we've never had anything like it. Well, except the COVID show. Well, I won't go into that. We've never really had anything like it. And so we're sitting ducks. Again, we're so docile. That is what New Zealand needs to wake up to, so we can install the defences against a tyrannical movement, which is just asking to happen everywhere and anywhere, all the time. We need to build the defences to it to make sure it doesn't happen. So we need to stop being docile, learn from others, understand the principle of survival of the most ruthless in politics and what that almost inevitably otherwise leads to. And again, just to do our very best to make sure that doesn't ever happen. That's how America was founded. They built a constitutional structure which was designed to protect the people from politics gone rogue, because they know it's otherwise not a possibility but an inevitability. And they were right. And their constitution has done a massive amount with their decentralization of their powers, the breaking up of it, and also giving the states a lot of autonomy. But even in America, after all this time, the ruthless guys are starting to really take over, quite possibly. Yeah. So that's what we need to focus on. What we need is a political party giving people the option of building in the defences against tyranny. It's not hard. Political decentralization, absolute freedom of speech forever and ever. An app built onto people's phones that keep them connected with their politicians, that lead to comprehensive public surveys, which make it almost impossible or extremely embarrassing for politicians to blatantly disregard the public will. I mean, their job is to represent us, not tell us what to do. And when the 90% of the public says something like, get your goddamn GMO out of my food or whatever, be they right or wrong, it doesn't matter. 90% say it, you bloody don't do it, because you represent what the public say, you don't give them orders, although, etc. So you need a politics app, you need decentralized political power, you need to break up the a separation of fundamental powers, like what America does, and move to a system much, much closer to Switzerland. You know, that I think is probably the biggest political war that exists right now all over the world. The elites, the true elites, not the 1%, more like the 0.0001%, want to create a one world China, whereas the people, at least the slightly more informed and engaged people, the common man, want to create, for themselves at least, a Switzerland model, which is extremely difficult to corrupt. When Switzerland formed itself in its structure that it did, it was obviously based on the idea that politicians are so corruptible it's not funny. And they are. Incredibly wise country, Switzerland. Yeah. But in my opinion, if we don't push for it now and get on with the show of building in the defences, like what Switzerland has done, largely like what America's done, but far further than America, we will end up with a tyranny. It's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. And things are accelerating in that direction right now. So that's what we need to focus on. That's what we need to do. Thank you. Yeah, it's what we need to, this should be our number one priority. A new political party should be based on it. That alone. Thanks.